guys, let me show you. So this is, you know what, this makes me happy. I can see everything, easy to get to, got my teas, cleared that shelf off, still have more than enough, let me just, we'll take a surprise look in here. So, this still has room for improvement, but right now, I'm transitioning to pretty much all glass. And I didn't need to buy one thing, y'all, because I had it. So I still want to go up and do those two. But for now, nothing's going to fall. Nobody's going to get injured. And so this is my Pennzoil stuff. This was stuff in this drawer that, some of this is for like Clara's food. But maybe I don't need, you know what I'm saying? So that goes in Clara's food. But, and this is covers for her food. I look like they could be washed, y'all. I don't know. Anyway. I'm not sure what that was for. Anyway. So I have this, the Herbes de Provence. It's going to go in that other thing. Because we're going to start using a lot of blends. These are my cinnamon, y'all. I keep them with my coffee cups. I love this brand, y'all. Morton and Bassett, I really love them. I only have another one of them, oregano. And this is kind of interesting. Have y'all ever seen this? So cinnamon, nutmeg, and chia seasoning. And then I got good old Trader Joe's organic ground cinnamon. So yeah. So we're going to go through these this weekend, I think. I'm going to add this to my thing today. And just clean and check out and see what's really expired, what I might need. Just get some ideas for cooking. See what I got, y'all. Hey, guys. Welcome. I'm Tracy. This is my channel, Tracy from the Mermaid Cove, and it's Friday. You're the jam, y'all. You are the jam. That's right, the jam. Anyway, I put my coffee on for a minute, and I had hardly any, so it spilled. And I really would like a second cup, but it's such an ordeal. So this weekend, I've got to look in my library and see if I have this thing I think I have in my head from QVC before I think about getting one. But I am having some chicken. I keep wanting to say chicken shumai. It is Mushu chicken. I had lunch with a couple people I worked with, some awesome women. And so yeah, so I had enough. I had a little for dinner last night. And then I'm gonna have a little breakfast. And then I'm gonna eat something out of my freezer at work. I have like orange mandarin chicken. So I'm gonna eat up some of that stuff that has the gluten in it. That stuff is, I love that plum sauce, y'all. So was looking up how to make plum sauce. Y'all, it's a commitment, and you have to do the preserving. Well, one day maybe we'll do it. I have a friend, Judy, who knows how to do all that. So maybe I'll drag her over to my house, and she'll have to, and we'll make our own plum sauce. What's your favorite Chinese food? Like, what do you order when you go out or get takeout? But then at Trader Joe's, what's your favorite Chinese thing to get? I find all that interesting, y'all. I could literally, every person I come across, sit down and look inside their purse and be fascinated. People are so interesting. They really are. I'm just curious about everything. I don't know. My mom is like, God, I thought you'd grow out of this. Not that she did, mind you. But, so it's Friday. Payday. Always nice. And I'm off for the weekend. My cleaners, my friend Sophia, my cleaner, is going to come. And, I'm going to have her rinse it, put Clorox cleaner on it, rinse it, and do Pine Sol. Now, in my garage, there's still a lot, y'all. I've done an amazing job. Honestly, the crisis, I believe, is over. But there's still a lot. I mean, there's still too much to excite my brain. And I haven't gone through everything. And I'm bringing more in. But I think, my plan tomorrow is to be in there early. going to be hot, y'all, and humid. So if I can set my alarm at 5:30, I don't see, I can set my alarm at 5:30, right? Hop in there, have a little talk with y'all, and then get going. And I just want to finish the one side. And then I have some containers full of books that I thought I wanted. And that is what I want to work on reducing down, because it's taking up a lot of room and I really don't want it to. So, but I also have my bookcase that's empty to go through that and glue it and get that filled up. You know? And then like I said, I have some books I know I want to bring in, but I'm I'm revisiting them 3 at a time. And then more have to go out. So yeah, so tomorrow's going to be my pound hard day, get stuff done. And then let's see, if I don't write down, look for that thing. That coffee maker, single. It's like a single coffee maker. Okay. And it's be a miracle if I look at it, that's all. But yeah, so that's what's happening. And so yeah, that's what's happening. Tried to dry my hair a little bit, but it's gonna be a messy hair day, y'all. It's just how it is. So it's interesting. So I've been doing a couple of shorts. I haven't done a lot. I'm going to try to get in the habit of doing more, because YouTube seems to push you in the algorithm in a way. I don't understand all that, but I know when you only have like 500 and something subscribers, they're not big at pushing you. So the shorts, they seem to encourage that. So I haven't had a chance to read it, but I got a message just basically saying, hey, I think I can get monetized now, or I can maybe have a live. I'm not sure. I have to read through it all. And I guess some people have memberships and patrons and all that. So I'm now eligible for that, which is interesting, because before everything was over 1,000 subscribers, but I guess they're taking views into account. I mean, anyway, I'm going to check into that this weekend, consult with Sue, see what Sue thinks. Susan's my go-to for that kind of stuff. She's my guru, if you will. And I'm trying to get them set up for a taste test, because the bag I have for them is overflowing. But yeah, I want to do some art, y'all. I want to do some art. I say that every day and I don't do it. I am going to do art. Right? And it's my brother's birthday on the 4th of July. So I need to get a card for him. I know I got one for him. It's like, I'm going to send him a couple of pictures that I have. But I know I have one where it's like a fortune cookie that says, Confucius says, you're old. You guys, this is crazy, but I kind of judge people's ages like before my mom, after my mom, between my brother and my mom, between my brother and me. It was about 9 years almost. My niece and me, you know what I mean? It's like in your head, or, you know. So my brother was born in 1956. I was born in 1965. And when I give library cards, we put in age. And I am shocked how old people that were born in 1956 look sometimes. I'm like, wow, you're my brother's age. But how is it in our brain? I mean, mostly I don't look at my face and see wrinkles. I don't. Sometimes I do, and I'm being critical. And actually, I found a picture I need to show y'all, probably the year I brought this all upon me. But it's just interesting how much spirit has to do with age, I think, where I see people who are born my year, and it's just fascinating, right? Some people's skin is perfect, right? Some people, are kind of gray. Some people, just have life about them. So I don't know. I don't know. Spirit to me has more to do with attractiveness than quality of your skin. But maybe I just have to feel that. Yeah. But overall, mostly I'm fine. It's just, I've never been, it's interesting. I can't say I've never been vain, because it's like a human thing to be vain, I guess, sometimes. And I do mean this, that I know I struggle with my weight. And, just because of the childhood issues. But it's interesting. My mom and dad were very, they weren't just, my mom was a little bit, when she was young, movie star beautiful. My dad was handsome. They were good looking people. But they both had a charm to them. My mom especially had a quality, that a light that brought people. And, she just, I'm a lot like her, but she's original. And I think of my grandparents, like farmers in Minnesota, having this miracle baby that is just like, you should see her. She's like leopard collars, and yeah. But one of my grandma's cousins, my grandma's sisters, I can't remember which one. I think Laura, but she loved movie magazines and all kinds of magazines. So my mom, she would give them to my mom, and I can remember one time my mom's like, "Why do you have so many magazines?" I'm like, "Who do you think I learned it from?" Anyway. And I know I have a scrapbook somewhere where she cut out stuff, which I've done my whole life. So it's yeah, I think it's comes from my grandma's creativity. I just hit my mother in a different way. But, it's not to judge my parents. I've done a lot of therapy, and we're good. And I understand them as people more so, and forgiven the mom and dad part of it. But they were, it was a different time, and they were, they were sexual beings, and they had that energy. And I think that, and my brother's very good looking, and super blonde, blue eyed, just, never needed braces, never needed hair color, never needed glass, never had a weight issue. So they were just sort of glamorous to me in a weird way. And I think I felt I could not compete, because of my weight issue, or I didn't want to compete, or I didn't want to be seen in that vein. I don't know. There was something off for me. I think being super empathetic, and who knows what my goal was to come here, is to be on this planet. But I sort of rejected it, that part of myself. And, yeah, it's so funny. Like, even wearing dresses, like I was going to buy a dress, and I thought, I don't know. It's like, well, you're not the dress type. Well, even a good example, my sister-in-law, who's so thoughtful and kind, when I was having my brain surgery, she brought like this wonderful shawl kind of thing. And really, my mom, it was freezing in the hospital. My mom used that thing like crazy, because we'd never been in a hospital or experienced anything. So we were, a little clueless. And I was just focused on health and getting healthy, and I didn't care about anything else, or anyone else for a matter, during that time. First time where I was like, told people, it's about, I can't worry about you worrying about this, right? Like, I can get myself through this, but I can't get everybody else through it. And I think that's the first time I really realized, how much I did do that, how much I did try to take care of people and help them through things, which is a wonderful thing. And I still do that. But it was the first time I really understood it, into relation to maybe it was taking something from me. But with this brain tumor, y'all, oof, I was laser focused. So, but the shawl story. So I went over to my brother's house. I don't know why. And I had the shawl on, and he started laughing. True story. Because it's not how I was seen in my family. Because it's very feminine. And he started laughing, and I understood immediately, like, his wife is like, what are you laughing at? But I knew, we all have that uncommunicated language with siblings, because we've been through something, and understanding that other people, you can't even articulate it. You just know, as you have shared experiences. And but I met a man who was gay, and we became really good friends, and but very attracted to each other, and we just have chemistry. But I was very chill, loose, didn't worry about anything with him. And I can remember one time I was talking about how I have these big man hands, and we were talking about femininity and masculinity, and so he put his hand in, he's very slim, lovely hands. Everything about him is lovely. And put your hand up, and his hand was bigger than mine. And it was such a weird revelation. Like, I have normal women hands. I'm stocky. I'm a farmer's granddaughter, right? I'm sturdy. So it's interesting that I've been thinking about that lately, that decisions that you make for yourself, that this is who you are, or in family, whatever, it's all complicated, so complicated. But I'm trying to, as I try different food, right? I didn't like Brussels sprouts at age 8, have avoided them like the plague. Maybe I like them. Do you know what I mean? So, but I also think about myself, and I have dresses, I wear dresses, but not to like work or my daily life, for events. But I was thinking, why does that make me uncomfortable thinking about wearing a dress? It's a piece of clothing. And I know if I went to work in a dress, it'd be like, oh my God, you're in a dress kind of thing. Or my supervisor, who's super feminine and, really puts herself together. And it's very important to her. And she always said to me, why don't you wear dresses? And I was thinking, I don't know. I just rejected that sort of feminine side of myself. But my friend made it clear that you are feminine, whether you've rejected it or not, or embraced it or not, you are very feminine. And now you think about what is feminine and gender and all this, it's just fascinating. It's really interesting. And I love watching people at work. And I love, just what they wear, how they hold themselves. And there's people who don't look like Barbie dolls, or not this like, we're fed such crap about this stuff. And there's women who really put themselves together, and you would not pick them out like, oh, they're the most beautiful face. Well, how boring is that? But they put themselves together, and they inspire me. And I was not planning on talking on this, y'all. I don't know where it came from, but yeah, I just think it's interesting. And like, declare myself, well, you're not feminine. Okay, well, that was a lie. Made me feel more comfortable, safe, because then I didn't attract attention. I'm not going to get too deep in this because Lord knows. But yes, I was just thinking about that, and we get a lot of children's books now about gender, and, and I know some people have a really hard time with it, and I respect that. I do. As long as you're not telling someone they're wrong, or they can't do it, or making a law that they can't do it, and it's not your thing, that's fine. And you're not mean to people. Why would people be mean to people? I don't get it. But this is the history of time, right? And be open-minded, and it's not about, I don't know. But anyway, exploring my femininity, but I have a friend who's transgendered male, and I was telling them about the hand, and they told me that it's the same. They had that same experience, but they were thinking my hand's too small. It doesn't look manly. Isn't that interesting? And it's just interesting what we qualify. And, it's interesting sometimes, when I see someone who's transgendered woman, and what their idea of femininity, like Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn, his idea of femininity was very much shaped by, I would say, the Kardashians, but he grew up at a time where women were glamorous and had long hair, and it's just fascinating to me how some people are uber feminine, like almost become a stereotype, caricature. And I guess that's maybe we do that. Like when I was young, I wore more makeup, would not leave the house without my hair looking the way I wanted it to look, 45 minutes I got up to do my hair. How much money would you pay me right now for me to do that? But that's age. So I think in some ways you're starting off at that adolescent age where you're playing with makeup and, and you're just exploring and, and probably evolve into a different style. But I find all this fascinating and interesting. It's just, and we're all so much at the core of more alike than we're not. But that's my thing, is this world becomes so divisive and so crazy. I literally don't watch the news, y'all. I don't. I mean, I see snippets, but I don't deep dive in any of it. I find it so sad and so frightening, and I just don't understand. It's crazy. So, but anyway, I was just exploring that, and what is beauty? What is femininity? We have such a to make money off people, industries have decided this is what you should be, and then let's spend a lot of money trying to be that, but there's no way in heck you will ever be that. You will never be that. I will never be 6'1", 130-pound model. Never. Don't care what cream and this and that. But to try to, so obviously we accept we can't get taller, right? well, you can wear heels, I guess, right? God knows. Do y'all remember candies? Like, what are those? Not a stiletto, but that. Listen, at some point my father sat me down and he said, these are not for you. And again, that goes into my vision of femininity, like, because I was klutzy. And so interesting now in the readings on ADHD, banging into things and klutziness is a huge side part of being ADHD, because of your brain. You're just not in your body sometimes and you're not aware because you're just out here. I was amazed when I read that, because that is, so my dad's basically like, you're going to hurt yourself or somebody else on your way down. And, I don't know how, I know he said that. I don't remember how he said it, in what context he said it. Plus my father had mixed emotions about my weight. He hated it. As he also knew there was something going on in me. This is how I was protecting myself, but no one wanted to talk about that. They wanted to talk about, how do I get it off? How do I do this? Try to control all that. And he also had a hard time, I think, with me becoming, a sexual person or aging, having breasts and stuff like that. And so it's a story. One time we were at the beach with my stepmonster and my stepsister. And we were on the elevator going down, as one does in these condos. And I was probably 14, but look, probably 25, honestly. But again, still myself, like, curious about people. And there was a movie called Lifeguard. So I don't know, y'all, a lot at my age probably know Lifeguard. Oh my gosh, with Sam Elliott. You guys. So we get on the elevator, all of us are on and there's this guy that looks like, I'm telling you, he looked like Sam Elliott. Like he could have been his younger brother. I'm like, wow. So did anyone ever tell you look like Sam Elliott? And he's like, well, thank you. That's so nice. And he's like, well, so he starts chatting me up. So we get down, we walk out. My dad grabs my arm, drags me back in the elevator and says, we need to go have a talk. So my dad was upset. Instead of being upset that, I really didn't even understand. I wasn't being flirtatious in the sense to get male attention. I was just like blown away. And I hadn't learned that. And I'm still not good at that, hiding and playing game crap. So my dad drags me up and he's like, and I think this was a summer I had lost weight. And so, and I was always voluptuous. All my friends were skinny. So I always felt like huge Amazon woman. But it was way more mature for my age. And my parents, I don't know, didn't know, they didn't have these conversations in the 70s or early 80s. And so he dragged me back up and was really upset. But he made me feel bad, like I had done something wrong. So this guy probably had no clue my true age, right? But my dad really, maybe it was shameful, I don't remember, but I do remember thinking, what did I do wrong? Like, I just talked to someone, I asked I gave, but my father really did not know, on hindsight, what to do with that. So on one level, he wanted me to be thinner and attractive, but on the other hand, when that was very hard for him to handle. So that'd be God. If I had him and could figure that out with him, in some ways, I do believe you can have a dialogue if you listen and you can ask those questions. And we have a relationship now, but so I should work on that more with him and see what comes up. But so my stepsister's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why did you say something? I said, what did I do so wrong? I made a comment to this guy who looks just like Sam Elliott. And I was enthusiastic because he looked like Sam Elliott. She's like, just keep your mouth shut. Why can't you keep your mouth shut around them? And I was always transparent. I had a lover once. He's like, you're transparent. Okay. Anyway, which kind of meant he wasn't. That's another story. But what's interesting is we go out. I don't know how my dad allowed this out, but I was with my stepsister and she was tough. She was rough and tough. So we went, I don't know what we were supposed to be doing, but we went into a local bar, and back then they didn't really card you. It wasn't what it is now. I could buy alcohol. It was crazy. And he was there. So immediately comes up to me and starts talking to me. And yes, I'm insanely flattered. And, but at the same time, I'm like freaking out. Like, oh my God, my father would be so upset. This guy had no idea how old I was. I'm in a bar. And I remember that, like, just, you're feeling things that you haven't maybe felt before. And he was probably 26, 27, something like that, under 30. And I could talk, y'all. I grew up with my parents' friends, hanging out with them. I mean, I talk like an adult, not like a awkward 14-year-old. But I remember he leaned in and kissed me, a good kiss. And I was in shock, like it's like I'm in a movie. And my stepsister was there, and she said she's 14 years old. Grabbed my arm, yanked me out. Oh, so needless to say that there's some issues around this. I can see this so clearly, like it happened yesterday. And she's like, what on earth are you doing? Da, 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 da. Like, I'm not doing any, it was, so on so many different levels, I got the message, you're not okay. What you do is not okay. The way men react to you is not okay. It's your fault, kind of crap. So, but I remember I saw him one more time, and we were on the elevator with everyone, and he just winked at me. Would he have met me in the parking lot? Probably, So anyway, that's my story. I don't know where this came from, but I was just thinking about femininity and, and the weight. My therapist helped me understand a lot about my weight, and helped me understand a lot about men's reaction, and that men really, that this bull business we're sold. Men like all women. Men like women who are interested in them. Men like women who are open, and, and that he said to me, my welcome mat is not out. So we spent some time working on my welcome mat, and like I could put it out and take it in, that I didn't just have to have it out. So yeah, it was really true. Once I understood that, it did change. It really did change. But it's amazing. So I'm thinking now, like, what belief do I have that is so limiting to me, like that? Like there was no way I would believe men would be attracted to me at my weight, and now I was much heavier than I am now. No way. But I got there, and all of a sudden there was a realization. My thinking served me, I guess, to keep me safe, because then I didn't have to deal with malintention. But it wasn't really the weight; it was my attitude and my guardedness. So, which I could keep as I lost weight. But but I think now, like, what belief am I holding back on, or is limiting me? That really is not true. That really is safe for me to move out of. So I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. And, I want to walk every day, but there is something with exercise. I was thinking about this. Why don't I get up and walk every day? I know how much better I feel. But, I think in my life when I exercised or, worked out and did all that, I get an energy to myself that attracts people. And it's a different energy than me being me and having, I think people are attracted to me because I'm curious about them. And, a lot of people aren't like that. A lot of people are so guarded and don't share. And I'm fascinated and always love to have a minute with someone. But not that kind of minute, y'all. So I don't know. It's interesting. But I think this is part of my letting things go, right? So my house is a wreck. I don't want anyone in. Safety, right? Protection. I have so many ideas for art and possibilities that keeps me from making art. And maybe I'm not a great artist. And so there's a lot of patterns I can see that keep me stuck. And, there's a good Anais Nin quote about, I can't believe I can't remember, but basically, like it took more energy to keep yourself tight in a bud than to flower. So I'm going to leave you on this because I got to get to work. But I don't know. I just don't know where this is coming from. But I think because I'm, this letting go of things is so much more than letting go of things, right? And I'm very, the garage was a crisis, and I really don't want more crises to have to move forward. So, but yeah, it's a thing. It's very interesting. And to move away from judgment, like, how could you wait your whole life doing this? Well, no, that keeps you stuck, doesn't it? No, how do we do now? Like, oh my God, you did your best. Literally did your best when you felt terribly unsafe. And, that's a hard thing. And it's a hard thing to admit and talk about and to move forward from. But that's my story today. And I don't want to be, I'm not trying to be late to work, y'all. So I'm going to head out. But as again, just talking to you is my favorite. So you guys take care. And I can't wait to see your comments. And even those of you who are here and don't comment, if you get something from it, or, that makes me happy. And it makes, that child I was so protective that she could reach people or talk to people, or even one person think, wow, I'm like that too. That's me. That helps heal my soul. So anyway, you guys, namaste. I'll talk to you tomorrow or tonight. I don't know, sometime.